Welcome, everybody. The NFL season is over, which means it's time to look forward to the 2023 NFL Draft. I'm Joe with the Game House, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Buffalo Bills in a 2023 NFL mock draft. As mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at the Buffalo Bills in a 2023 NFL mock draft on a mock draft simulator. The Bills last season made it to the AFC playoffs. They lost to the Bengals in the AFC divisional round, but they have a good team. Josh Allen got hurt. Maybe that's the reason why they maybe didn't finish the season as much as they would have liked to, at least the way they would have liked to. But they have some talent on the roster. They're still building for the future. They're still a Super Bowl contender heading into next season. They did lose some pieces. Tremaine Edmonds is now a Bear. But I think they still have a really good chance with a good draft to set themselves up well for the future. Before we get started here, we are using the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. I like it. They rank the prospects based on where they are on a lot of draft boards. As you can see already in the mock draft, there are players who have fallen to pick number 27 in the Bills that aren't the most realistic. But for the most part, I like the simulator. We're going to be declining all trades as we go through this mock. A lot of times simulators don't really know the real value of what trades coming in and out. So sometimes you can trade picks like a 5th round pick for a 1st round pick, and that's just not realistic. So we're going to decline all trades. But let's get it started with the Bills and pick number 27. While Bijan Robinson is a top 5 player in this class, because the running back value is so far down, he could fall to the Bills. And this is just the responsible pick here. I mean, if he falls to them, best running back in the class, best running back since Saquon Barkley. You want to take some of the running out of Josh Allen's hands. You want to be able to have better red zone percentage next year. Get Bijan Robinson. He can help you out. He does just about everything well. He can work on his pass pro a little bit more. But, I mean, if you're looking for weaknesses with Bijan Robinson, you really are nitpicking there. And I don't think that's something that they're going to pass up there with pick number 27 if he does fall. That takes us to pick number 59 with the Bills. And they do need interior offensive line. Their offensive line has kind of deteriorated over the last several years. And Steve Avila will be the pick here for me. A bigger guard, but he can also play center. I think he can help you out at multiple different points on the interior of the offensive line. Helped TCU make that college football playoff last year. I think you really do get better with those first 2 picks there. And that takes us to pick number 91. Scroll down and see if we're missing anyone. I mean, they say you need safety, but you got Micah Hyde, you got Jordan Poyer back. So we're going to go Deion Henley, the linebacker out of Washington State. Tested decently well at the combine, but also the Bills lost Tremaine Edmonds. Maybe didn't live up to the expectations when they drafted him, but you still need a linebacker to replace him, even if it is in the 3rd round, just to give some depth on this team. Pick number 130, and there's some wide receivers here that are interesting. I think we're going to go that route because we saw that Gabe Davis was at least inconsistent last year, and you do have Stephon Diggs, who looks like he's staying for next year at this point as well. But I would say let's go with Parker Washington, the wide receiver out of Penn State, with this one. He's a guy who has made some acrobatic catches for Penn State. I think he, with a better quarterback play, can be more productive. And I think he can play the slot as well as outside. So, you don't need to you can keep Gabe Davis on the outside. You keep Stephon Diggs on the outside, put him in the slot, and really help this offense out. All right, next pick up. We are pick number 137. Not many safeties left for that depth. I guess that's why there's still a high on having safety as a need here. But let's go with Zach Pickens, the defensive lineman out of South Carolina. Pretty good player for South Carolina, one of their best players last year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We saw Cam Smith probably going in the 1st round at corner, but Zach Pickens I think is kind of maybe understated as a good player on that defensive line. Get some depth on the defensive line is never a bad thing. And that'll set us up for pick number 205, which will be the Bills' last pick in this mock draft. So let's see what we can do here. Plenty of options here. A lot of them feel like they fit a need. Let's go Jackson Kirkland, the left tackle out of Washington. He actually played several positions on the offensive line at Washington. But you need offensive line depth. You already have Steve Avila for the interior. Get Jackson Kirkland, the offensive tackle out of Washington here. He has tons of experience over his time at Washington. One of the guys I think that could end up making the back end of a roster. So if the Bills don't take him, someone else might, and he might provide good depth throughout his career. So let's look back on our 2023 NFL mock draft for the Buffalo Bills. We're going to start off with John Robinson. As mentioned, you got to convert on those red zone opportunities. Having a good running back will help that. Yes, they took James Cook last year. Yes, they signed Damian Harris. But John Robinson, if he falls, you don't have to trade up for him. That is a solid pick. I really do think it could help take some of the wear and tear off of Josh Allen's body. If you're going to have a quarterback who can run, that's fine with me. I think you can win with them. But at the same time, try to get someone who can kind of complement them in the running game, like what John Robinson would. Pick number 59, Steve Avila. Guard center versatility, bigger player. The Bills need to improve the interior of their offensive line. A good value there at pick 59. Deion Henley, linebacker out of Washington State, really just going to help fill in for Tremaine Edmonds, who left in free agency. We'll see if he can give you something in year one because he might have to be immediately productive and contribute, even if it's not like as good as Tremaine Edmonds was. Parker Washington, acrobatic guy, can make acrobatic catches, I should say, for Penn State, can play in the slot, which I think opens up Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis on the outside, gives the Bills one more weapon to use. It makes Josh Allen that much more dangerous as they move forward and try to compete with the offenses in the AFC like the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Bengals. Zach Pickens on the defensive line for defensive line depth. Jackson Kirkland, an experienced offensive tackle at the end of the draft to kind of give you some depth there as well. Maybe makes the back end of the roster. Make sure to let me know what you think of the draft below. I like this draft. There could be some people who don't like running backs first round. I understand that. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of this draft. We're going to keep on doing our mock draft series as we go on. So just make sure to keep on tuning in. We'll see everyone next time.